Hello and welcome back. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the tanh function, which is an activation function for the neural network. So we are going to understand about the tanh function from a layman's point of view. So you can consider a dimmer switch for a light and consider a kind of switch which can control the brightness of the light from completely off, which means 0, to completely on, which means 1. But what if you wanted to control the light's brightness from both very dim, which means -1, to very bright, which is completely 1, passing through a neutral point, right? So you are considering a kind of switch which can provide the extreme brightness, extreme darkness, along with a neutral point which cannot be called as extreme brightness or extreme darkness, right? So if there is this kind of situation when you are preparing a machine learning model, then in that case, you need to use the tanh activation function to train your model. Okay. So in the neural network, the tanh function acts like a specialized dimmer switch for the signals passing through the network. It takes an input value like the brightness of the light and it squeezes it into a range between -1 and 1. Right. So what does this function do? It takes an input value, can take 1, right? It can take -1 and then squeezes it into a range between -1 and 1, which means it tries to spread it out between -1 and 1. Okay, it's not like ReLU where you are only having a value 1 or 0. Rather, you have a value distribution. You have the values distribution between -1 and 1 passing through 0 as well, right? So that is something the use of tanh, where you can use the tanh. So this is useful because there is a 0 centered output, which means the output of the tanh function is centered around 0, which means the learning, when you are doing the machine learning for your model, then the learning is moving around the value 0. It is near about 0, but it's not exactly 0, right? So it's lingering around the 0 only, right? So this can help the neural network learn more efficiently. And it has stronger gradients. tanh functions has stronger gradients. So tanh function has steeper slopes around the origin, which can lead to faster learning. So gradient means the slope. Okay, slope means the calculus, and in the calculus, it's differential calculus, the differentiation. Okay, so the tanh function has steeper slope. So if you try to find out the slope or the gradient using the differentiation for the tanh function, then you will be able to find steeper slopes, right? Steeper slopes means you are able to find the biggest change that could happen. Okay, so which can lead to faster learning. Okay, so I hope you are understanding this, and it's completely a mathematical thing as of now what we are discussing, and later on in the next after next video we will be discussing some kind of code as well. Okay, now let's see the visual representation. So you can see between -1 to plus 1.0, and between there is a value 0, right? So it's passing through 0 from -1 to +1. So essentially, the tanh function helps neural networks make more nuanced decisions by allowing them to represent both positive and negative values effectively. Okay, so this is in fact more efficient for most of the situations, tanh activation function. So how does the tanh activation function looks like? So this is the highlighted portion is the tanh function. E raised to the power x minus e raised to the power minus x upon e raised to the power x plus e raised to the power minus x, where e is known as the Euler's number and the value is 2.71828. So it's around 2.72 and x is the input value. Whatever value is the input, you put there, right? So it's like 2.71 raised to the power x, whatever input value you are providing. So based on that, if you draw a curve, then you will be able to get this kind of curve. Okay, so when you are training some kind of data where this kind of curve can be useful, then you use tanh activation function, right? So what does this mean? E raised to the power x and e raised to the power minus x, these terms represent exponential growth and exponential decay. Okay, both the things. extremely exponential growth, and extremely the decay as well. So as x increases, e raised to the power x grows rapidly while e raised to the power minus x diminishes. Okay. So the fraction, why we have done the fraction? The fraction essentially balances these two opposing forces. Where x is large and positive, e raised to the power x dominates, pulling the result towards 1. Conversely, when x is large and negative, e raised to the power minus x takes over, pushing the results towards minus 1. So this is all the basic mathematics. And if you know about the e raised to the power x, this tan h function, and if you understand this exponential curve, like if the value of x is increasing, then the value of e raised to the power x increases very high. I mean, it's exponentially increasing, right? So when you divide e raised to the power x minus e raised to the power minus x divided by e raised to the power x plus e raised to the power minus x, then in that case, you are essentially balancing the two opposing forces, like not completely leaving it up to move to minus 1 and not completely leaving it up to plus 1, right? So you are balancing the values in such a way that it remains between the two values minus 1 and 1 passing through 0, right? So that's where the tan h is really important, and we will understand a scenario where this thing is really useful. Okay. So there is a scale down effect related to the tan h function that we must need to know. The tan h function, and as used in neural network, is essentially a scaled down version of this hyperbolic tangent. It maps any input value to a value between minus 1 and 1. This scaling is crucial for neural networks because it helps to center the output. The output is centered around 0, which can improve the learning process, and it controls the magnitude. The output is bounded, preventing excessively large values that could destabilize the network, right? So with the help of the example, you will be able to clarify it more what has been written here. So scale down effect is basically, it's not going to scale the values too far from the center. It's all around the 0, right? So this is the scale down effect, and it controls the magnitude as well, right? The output is bounded, which means it's between minus 1 and 1 only, right? So it prevents the excessively large values, right? And if there are any large values between the number of other values which are smaller comparatively, then in that case, it could destabilize your network, and it could hinder the learning process, in such a way that it is not able to learn fast. Okay. So as you can see from the graph in previous section, the tan h function is smoothly transition between minus 1 and plus 1 with a steep slope around the origin. If you see the origin, there is a steep slope. If you see the origin, this is origin, right? So there is a steep slope, right? In the downward direction and in the upward direction, right? So this is the situation. If that is the situation for any kind of machine learning model, then you need to use this kind of model. Okay. So in essence, the tan h function provides a powerful tool for controlling and shaping the flow of information within a neural network. So we are going to understand in the next video, like in what situation we should be using the tan h function. What is the tan h when it is useful. Okay. So we'll meet soon in the next video. Till then, have a nice day and bye-bye.